After working through concussion symptoms in the past 3 weeks, Bret Hart in his weekly column on the Calgary Sun opened up on everything he went through since the Starrcade match with Goldberg along with the current state of the wrestling business, saying that he can't remember Christmas and New Year's due to constant headaches in the week prior, noting the constant blows he got in physical matches against Goldberg, Benoit and Jerry Flynn, followed by this week being booked in a hardcore match against Terry Funk that saw him getting another blow to the head on Thunder on Wednesday, saying that he did everything he was asked in order to help WCW compete with the WWF even if it went against his personal beliefs, bringing up a recent example of him almost crashing his car on a production truck when speeding away from Goldberg on the Thunder tapings 2 weeks ago, moments before Goldberg nearly lost his arm on a limousine window, saying that he was originally paid to wrestle in the ring but wrestlers are now expected to be actors and stuntmen, and that he realized that by agreeing to do all that he did exactly what Owen did last May, in an article that ended up being Bret Hart's career tribute to the business with him set for his last match later tonight. Nitro's last 30 minutes of the first hour saw 2 hyped promo segments in each quarter, first with Funk, Anderson, Zbyszko and Orndorff coming out with each cutting a promo on the NWO, bringing them out for the response with Funk booking Jarrett in 3 matches against 3 mystery opponents and the main event of Nash and Bret against each other for the title, threatening to suspend them for a year without pay and strip Bret off the belt if they didn't do it, with Nash telling Funk that unlike him he can take the year off as he saved his money, coming amid reports of Nash along with Scott Hall wanting to get out of their WCW contracts to return to the WWF, going as far as rumors of Nash asking for his release in the past week after management still didn't bring Hall back from suspension for him going off script in a promo against Goldberg on the Thunder tapings on December 21st. After the last few weeks of them exchanging personal shots and worked shoot promos including several brawls in a program that started with them having a backstage altercation to sell it as a shoot, Dallas Page and Buff Bagwell were booked in a 5-minute face-to-face confrontation with each getting fined $50,000 if they hit each other before the time is up, trading shots with Page bringing up Bagwell constantly being around his wife Kimberly while he was filming the Ready to Rumble movie in LA, with Bagwell denying it before Page took the first shot when the 5 minutes ended in a segment peaking the first hour with a 4.1 rating. After initially not agreeing to the match, Nash and Bret took subtle shots at each other to officially set up the title match for the main event, with Nitro's first opposed quarter going up against a huge opening audience on Raw, starting with a shallow 2.4 rating for Jarrett's first match of the night with his opponent revealed to be George the Animal Steele, ending with Arn Anderson taking out Jarrett for the finish with Steele going over. Raw coming from the sold-out Kiel Center in St. Louis opened with the entire roster coming out unannounced, followed by Rock to deliver the message in the middle of the ring, saying that the locker room asked him to be their spokesman to call out Hunter and Stephanie to confront them after their last month in charge of the company, bringing up Mick Foley as the first issue, saying that if they don't meet their demands everyone is ready to walk out and start a new company called the World Rock Federation, forcing them to reinstate Foley tonight along with them not booking him or any other wrestler and random stipulations to lead to them getting fired, bringing out Mick Foley to thank Rock for his support before challenging Triple H for the title in the Garden at the Rumble pay-per-view, with this segment opening Raw huge with a record 6.8 rating, the highest ever for a regular Raw show, only behind the 7.3 rating for the first quarter on the Owen Hart tribute show in May '99. After starting low due to the massive viewership for Raw's opening quarter, Nitro started to pick back up from 9:15 to the end, with the show picking up viewers in every quarter, starting with over 400,000 viewers to a 2.7 rating, with a Stevie Ray Booker confrontation to set up the first Harlem Heat singles match for the pay-per-view Sunday, along with the second Jarrett match with his opponent revealed to be Tito Santana, going 3 minutes with Santana going over after Orndorff's interference. Raw's opening segment, going over 20 minutes, continued in the second quarter, with Rock officially announcing himself for the 30-man Rumble match, promising to win it and face Foley or Hunter for the belt at WrestleMania 16, followed by Rock and Foley booking the top of the card for tonight, with all members of DX facing each other, with Road Dogg vs Billy Gunn and Triple H vs X-Pac, along with the main event with DX against the Acolytes and the Rock and Sock Connection in an 8-man tag match, with Raw now having 1 hour unopposed every Monday. Starting this Thursday, SmackDown will have the entire 2 hours unopposed, with Thunder permanently moving to Wednesday nights, with numbers expected to be up for both companies across the board. Nitro jumped another 500,000 viewers into the 3 rating range, for Tank Abbott calling out head of security Duck Dillinger, along with the reveal of Jimmy Snuka as Jarrett's third opponent in a cage match, while Raw had the finish of the Outlaws match and a Kurt Angle Steve Blackman vs Hardy's tag match going 3 minutes. With Ric Flair originally set for Funk's current commissioner role before turning it down due to him not liking the direction of the role going forward, talks were going on between Flair and the company, with Flair reportedly looking to get out of his current WCW contract, which expires in February 2001, looking to sign with the WWF, with rumored underground talks going on between Flair and McMahon for a potential feud against Rock, while at the same time the guy who was originally set to feud with Rock heading into WrestleMania in Steve Austin, switched doctors at the last minute, which led to his surgery being delayed a week to next Monday, with Austin set for 8 weeks of rehabilitation post-surgery before any indication on his future as a full-time wrestler. Nitro had a loaded final quarter, starting with the Snuka vs Jarrett cage match ending in one of the most spectacular spots in show history, with Snuka and Benoit both on top of the cage, with Snuka recreating the famous '83 jump on Don Morocco, followed by a Benoit headbutt for the finish, along with the entrances and first half of the in-house NWO Hart vs Nash main event, bumping Nitro to a 3.4 rating. In what would also end up being the final match of Bret Hart's full-time career. Raw closed out the first hour having Edge vs Val Venis going 4 minutes, along with the entrances of Jericho and Chyna for a match against the Hollies to open the second hour, with both companies having high-profile lawsuits against each other for character and contract issues over the past 4 years. The WWF on a rare occasion let a contractual performer jump to WCW, as Terry Funko's WWF contract expired in December and was automatically renewed for another year, was allowed to get out of his deal to appear on WCW TV since last week. The Nash vs Bret main event went 11 minutes, crossing into the 6-minute overrun to end with Seed and Funk coming out in the final build to the sold-out pay-per-view, picking up over 1.1 million viewers in total to a peak 4.1 rating. Nitro's highest rated opposed numbers since August, with the final Nitro of the Russo-Ferrara regime drawing a 3.4 rating, with both main event and overall show ratings figures that were not topped again in show history. Going against the Bret Nash match, Raw had a Jericho and Chyna vs. Holly's tag match going 3 minutes, as unlike last week when positioning the Big Show vs. Triple H title match to go head up with the Nitro finish. This week Raw had the higher profile match in the second half of the top of the hour quarter with Triple H vs. X-Pac going unopposed, leading to Raw picking up in the 9 unopposed minutes, gaining around 1.1 million viewers from the over 5 million viewers Nitro went off the air with to a 6.9 rating. Rock's new book The Rock Says debuted on Wednesday and had a massive opening with the book sales already nearing the top of the New York Times bestsellers list, including one of the biggest book signings in Mall of America history, drawing over 8,000 people, with Rock while on a media tour to promote the book having a talked about radio appearance on Thursday that saw him walk out during the interview after the hosts brought up a caller that was promoting a website with several racist comments on WWF performers, with Rock after being on the show for over 30 minutes ending the interview abruptly, with the caller later apologizing, saying that he wasn't monitoring what a different writer was putting on the website. Similar to last week, Raw increased in the second hour but still didn't get the majority of the Nitro audience to tune into the show automatically, indicating a separate WCW exclusive fan base that will only watch Raw on a special occasion, with the next half hour hovering around the 6.6 rating range, featuring 3 tag matches along with an angle of Mick Foley kidnapping the fake Mankind used in the DX skits before sending Kane to take him out. Raw's 8-man tag main event bumped Raw back to a quarter-high 6.9 rating before going 6 minutes past 11 p.m. to jump over 1.3 million viewers to a peak 7.6 rating, going 11 minutes starting with Rock against the Outlaws and X-Pac before all 3 bailed out on Hunter to put the focus on Foley vs. Triple H for the finish, ending up with Hunter going over before a bleeding Foley made a comeback to set the stage for the return of Cactus Jack on the way to the Rumble pay-per-view, with Foley after the show went off the air confirming to the live crowd that it's time to bring Cactus Jack back, as Raw on the back of the huge opening segment and second hour main event pick up drew its highest rating since September with a 6.6 rating.